Okay, let's just jump right into this explainer, because today we are looking at a macroeconomic mystery that literally just upended the entire global consensus. We're talking about the absolute resiliency of the Chinese industrial engine. If you follow global trade, you already know the doom and gloom headlines that have been dominating the news lately. But, when you actually look at the data, it's telling a totally different, honestly much more fascinating story. For months, actually, scratch that, for years now, the accepted narrative on Wall Street was super simple. The Chinese economy was sputtering out. We've all heard the constant chatter, right? Demographic cliffs, real estate meltdowns, just a massive, unstoppable loss of momentum. It was practically gospel. Everyone said China was slowing down. But then, this number dropped. 24.7%. Seriously, just let the sheer magnitude of that figure sink in for a second. In April of 2026, Chinese industrial profits didn't just, stabilize or flatten out. They surged by 24.7%. This exact data point, which was recently highlighted in reporting from Towards CM, basically silenced Wall Street overnight. It's a massive statistical shock if you bought into the old narrative. It's a sudden, undeniable roar from an engine everyone swore was running on fumes. Section 1. Inside the manufacturing surge. So look at the stark contrast here between our expectations and reality. The old expectation was that we'd see a global environment full of severe macroeconomic headwinds blowing right in the face of the Chinese economy. But then, look at the reality of April 2026. What we actually got was an incredibly resilient manufacturing core that just kept churning out goods. We are objectively looking at a scenario where the bedrock strength of an industrial base totally overpowered all those expected global pressures. No contest. And the absolutely crucial context here is the timeline. April 2026. We are not tracking some slow, drawn-out, multi-year recovery here. Nope. This is a sudden, highly concentrated, explosive shift. Industrial profits totally defied a global slowdown in a single month. What that tells us is the manufacturing capacity wasn't broken or dismantled. It was fully intact, highly optimized, and just waiting to pounce the second global demand showed up. Part 2. Asia's AI chip ecosystem. Because here's the thing. When China's factories hum, the whole surrounding ecosystem goes into overdrive. We're seeing these interconnected forces playing out everywhere right now. Japan's markets, they're massively outperforming expectations. Taiwan is doubling down and cementing its already dominant grip on chip production. And because of all this synergy, massive waves of foreign investment are just flooding into these Asian markets. These aren't isolated national events, guys. They are directly linked nodes in one giant, unified supply chain. And this perfectly illustrates what's really driving today's tech boom, the AI investment theme. Put simply, this is a strategic allocation of capital into the hardware, specifically the advanced semiconductors, needed to actually train and run artificial intelligence. It's not just about flashy software apps anymore. Investors are buying up the physical silicon bedrock that makes the entire AI revolution possible. This hardware boom in Asia is quite literally what's powering the future. Section 3. The digital Trojan horse. Okay, so look at the brilliant, pragmatic mechanics of this strategy from the Atlantic Council's perspective. Step 1. Chinese developers release these highly capable open-source AI models to the public, totally for free. Step 2. Because these models are powerful, cheap, and accessible, we see massive global adoption by developers building out their infrastructure everywhere. And then, step 3, which is honestly the deepest irony of the whole tech landscape right now, major US tech companies are actively integrating these Chinese large language models into their own consumer and enterprise apps. It is a completely observable shift in how intellectual property is flowing around the world. So what's the catch, right? Why give it all away? Well, by handing out these advanced models for free, China is successfully embedding itself deep into the global digital foundation. They're extending their influence over the world's AI infrastructure from the ground up. It's honestly a masterclass in structural leverage. Think about it. If the whole world builds its software on top of your architecture, your influence doesn't just grow, it becomes permanent. Part 4. The Forward Outlook. As the analysis from Howard CM puts it perfectly, the old narrative of a weakening China may be dead. And why does this matter so much to us? Whether you're an investor or just someone trying to understand global trends, the traditional playbook has literally been rewritten by this April 2026 data. The old assumptions we all held about manufacturing declines or tech isolation, they just don't match the reality of what is actually happening on the ground today. The old narrative is definitely dead. The industrial engine is roaring, the most crucial chips on the planet are being stamped out across the region, and open source code is hardwiring itself into servers worldwide. The geopolitical tectonic plates have completely shifted right under our feet. So, the only real question left to ask as we wrap up this explainer is this. With this completely new reality staring us in the face, what will you watch next? Thanks so much for joining me. Keep analyzing the data and stay curious.